Big thing. So we were asking Paul just this earlier. So how do you think the lineouts have gone on at the start of the championship, especially compared to November, where it seemed to be a big talking point?
Yeah, I think they've gone pretty well. Yeah, like we spoke about coming in after November, that probably the set piece is one of the areas that we wanted to push on in this campaign, and yeah, I mean our ball winning percentage and so on has been much improved. So that's been a positive for us as a back forwards, because our line obviously gives us so much. You know what I mean?
Is there anything else I can help you with?
So no, it's been good.
And has that been something, whether it was just be more accurate in your execution, or have you tweaked the approach a tiny bit this month?
I wouldn't say we've kind of reinvented the wheel or anything like that, but I think we've gone into the games with a good plan, and then just executed it better. Do you know what I mean? Like it didn't help in November, that last Saturday game. Obviously, I went off, and you had different guys filling in different positions and a lot of moving parts, and that never helps things. But I just think, yeah, we've had a nice clear plan going into all games so far, which has been good.
And then just on your own.
Sorry, I have a good few to get around. I'll try and get back to you if I can. Murray?
Paul did give you a really glowing report. Part of which was he said he thinks you're moving better than ever. Is that how you feel physically in terms of what you're into? And if so, how?
Yeah, I feel good. I do feel fit at the moment. I mean, I wouldn't say, again, I haven't reinvented the wheel or anything, but there's so much competition now at this level, both provincially and at national level, that you can't stand still. Do you know what I mean? You've got to find ways all the time to improve your game, to add to your game, and that's just what I've been trying to do. And yeah, as I said, I've just been enjoying my rugby and I'm feeling good. Yeah.
You graded your physicality as well around the breakdown stuff. I'm sure you've seen the screenshot meme of you and Pollock or whatever. Was he someone you were looking for in the game, or does that stuff just happen? You feel I need to show my aggression and physicality now?
No, he wasn't someone I was looking for. That was just a bit of a scuffle at the start of the game. Like, there wasn't much in that. In fairness to Henry Pollock, like, it was a bit of crack. He's someone that can give it and take it. You know what I mean? There's no hard feelings there at all. We were having a laugh after the game, so that was it really. But yeah.
Sorry, Rory, then Luke.
Yes. Andy and very credited you with your approach off the bench in Paris. That Michael Milne was saying that you kind of had a chat with the rest of the replacements about what you guys would bring. You feel like you kind of carried that momentum through of what you guys kind of brought in that day and the way you've approached it.
Yeah, for the French game, like, I think we, as a bench, we just spoke about, when the bench comes on, you want to add energy to the team. So, that was the big one. And I think, there was other guys as well that came off the bench that day and really added impact. And it's such an important part of the game now. The guys you have on the bench. Again, you saw it in London, how good the guys were when they came on. So just adding energy is the main thing. And that was it really, yeah.
We've been in here with you as kind of a captain. We've talked about different elements of leadership and stuff. Do you feel like you're in a best place now to lead with your actions, with just the kind of, with knowing that your job is your job and you have to go out there and be the best second rower you can be and just give that to the team without the external stuff that comes with all the, if you've got a title or you have to do all the extra media and stuff, do you think?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think that's what leadership is. Do you know what I mean? It's doing what you say you're going to do. You know what I mean? It's leading by actions. It is a cliche, but I think that's what it comes down to. So, I think the same goes for all of us. Do you know what I mean? We've had a great plan going into the last 3 games, and probably the first game over in Paris. We had a nice plan, but we talked a lot about it. We probably didn't deliver it. Whereas that's the piece we've got right now. The last 2 rounds is we've kind of delivered on what we said we were going to do. So it's the same for this week. The England game was great. In a lot of aspects it was pleasing, but the message coming into Friday night is it's just we can't be complacent. Do you know what I mean? We got to get better again. So we're excited, yeah.
Luke.
Hey James. Obviously there's a lot of new faces in around the squad. There's been a number of retirements over the last 18 months, and with that, there's opportunities on the pitch. has there opportunities for some of the newer faces to come out of their shells a bit more away from the pitch on the downtime? And I suppose who have those guys been, even from the crack side of things?
Yeah, there have been. Even coming in at the start of the campaign, it did feel, I think I said that in Portugal, it was a different sort of feel to the squad. Just a lot of new faces, which has been good. Crack-wise, someone like Bryn Ward has been good fun. But yeah, I mean, seeing some guys like Cormac and Edwin Adogbo and these guys have all come in and added a lot as well in the forward pack, so it's been good.
Murray?
Suzanne? I think you mentioned before Sean Bryan helped you a good bit with your carry, which seems to have made a difference, I don't know. And in terms of the defence side of your game, have you, again, Paul mentioned you improved, he thinks you're getting really good at accuracy or tackle. How have you gone about developing that side of your game?
I'd like to think defensively has always been a strength of my game. So I like getting into the contests, into as many battles as I can. So, you know what I mean? Like Paulie often talks about kind of cornering the market and sort of playing to your strengths, so getting better at what makes you a good player, basically. So defensively, I'd like to think it's always been a good part of my game. So I've just tried to keep improving that. I suppose I've learned so much off Simon in here, and obviously Jock since he's coming into Leinster. But like a big part of defence in here is having the mindset to, to get off the line and to get into the tag contest. So that's always been at the forefront of my mind, yeah.
Tom, then Rory.
Just a thought on how significant the Triple Crown is to yourselves, and the discussion around that. Has it been much of a talking point at this stage? It's a possibility with Wales and then Scotland coming in. Is it something that's really been touched upon, or do you feel like as the weeks move on it might be a bit more of a talking point?
Yeah, to be honest, it hasn't. We haven't touched on it at all this week because we're not outcome based. We're not thinking about titles. We're just thinking about getting better in our performance. All we're thinking about is getting our performance right on Friday night against Wales and getting better at some of the stuff that we've honed in on since we've come back in.
Awesome, thank you.
Let's ask about Jameson, James.
Yeah.
The guy that walked into the changing room, maybe 10 years ago now at Leinster, compared to the player that you're training with day in, day out. What's kind of changed? How has he kind of got better, and kind of what does he bring that maybe to the group that we can see all the stuff on the pitch, but what do you think he brings behind the scenes?
I think behind the scenes he's just very laid back kind of guy, fairly chilled, but he loves having the crack as well. For me, I think when Jam was playing well, I mean he's definitely up there with one of the very best players I've ever played with, right up there. I don't think people realise just how good he is. You know what I mean? He's going to have a disaster now this weekend. But like his feel for the game, his rugby instinct is unbelievable. It's just, I'd hate to be playing against him, to be honest, defending against him. He's just such a good rugby player. So hopefully we can make it a good day for him.
Was it always there when you came into training first, when you kind of benching for Luke, or is it kind of slowly kind of come out over time?
I don't know. Probably always there, but maybe I suppose he's probably gotten better and better the more he's played in both blue and green. Maybe his confidence has grown, and he probably realises just how good he is. But he's a big part of the group, and I love playing with him as well. I have to say I love playing with him. He's just got great feel, and it's nice being able to play around him.
Thanks. Just last question, Ruth and then Suzanne.
Sorry, you go first. Just a quick one from me about Stuart McCluskey. Obviously, he's being labelled the fridge. Is that a running joke in camp, or have you guys got a nickname for him?
No, we don't really. No, I've heard the fridge. Just Big Stew really is his nickname, but no, he's been good. He's been more than good. He's been unreal. So like anytime he plays for Ireland, you know what I mean. He always plays well, but you have to say the last few weeks he's taken it up another gear again. Just how good he is. Obviously, everyone would have seen, like, that chase back he had on Marcus Smith over in London on the weekend, and when you come up in a moment like that, just the energy and the belief that it gives the guys around you is massive. So it's great to see him playing so well.
Finally, Susanna.
I just had one question around, there was a bit of a buzzword with intent after the France game, and I feel like I anyway was kind of like, what does that actually mean? And then with the England game, it felt like it was like, oh, that's what intent is. How did you actually, as players, I know they can say it to you all you want, coach being like, we need that from you, but how did you actually find it within you to go out and put on that performance?
To be honest, it's all mindset really. We spoke that week in terms of all the best Irish teams always have that intent piece, and I just playing on the edge, and there's probably a bit of an individual responsibility there to get yourself to that level to be ready to go. And I thought, obviously, we did it really well against England, which was great. The big thing for us now is making sure that we don't just drop off. We're able to be ruthless enough to have that again this week and the following week. So